What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I want to focus in, on the series preview for the Blackhawks and Blues. Definitely going to be an intense matchup, as it always is, going back. This is one of my favorite rivalries in the NHL. I mean, you look at the 80s and 90s between these two teams, and I think it's the amount of talent they had in the late 80s and early 90s, the Blues and the Blackhawks, and the fact that neither one won a cup is kind of like, what? You look at, the Brett Hall and the Adam Oates of the world, and, for in the 90s there, Al McInnes, and then in Chicago, with Charlie Oates, Roenick, Denny Savard obviously there before Charlie got traded for each other, Eddie the Eagle Belfour, Dominic Hasek, Steve Larmer, just so much talent, and obviously the Blackhawks would break through, win a cup, 20 years later, but at the time, it's still kind of mind-boggling. But I mean, then again, you had Edmonton, Calgary, Montreal rolling around, tough to break through them, but. Looking at this matchup, this could very easily be a Western Conference Finals matchup. In fact, when they played in 2014 in the first round, that was my exact thing. It was like, why do we have to have these two teams teeing off in the first round? I mean, all due respect to Minnesota and Dallas and Nashville. I mean, they couldn't have split the baby a little bit here to make sure, but whatever. St. Louis is as talented as any team in the league. No one will deny that. Obviously, Brian Elliott's in the pipes for Game 1. I think 3 years between playoff starts for Elliott. That's, we'll see what that brings them. Blackhawks are without Duncan Keith for Game 1. That's something to keep an eye on. So there's a lot of different subplots of work, but the hockey's going to be great. This is going to be 6-7 games of just, what playoff hockey is all about. And, it's just one of those great matchups that both teams despise each other. So, I think there's an old quote, by the age of 25, the average American has seen something like 5,682 acts of violence. 90% of them happen in Game 1 of a Stanley Cup playoff series. So, there's going to be a lot of violence out there. There's, I'm sure 1 or 2 felonies will be committed, but, that's the beauty of this rivalry. There's blood hatred there, especially on the St. Louis side, because in so many ways it's almost like an inferiority complex where, the Blackhawks have had all the success over the years, the last, 5-6 years, and the Blues still haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967. Now, the Blackhawks themselves had a 40-year drought, so people in glass houses shouldn't throw a 50-year drought, excuse me. And it's in a weird way, it mirrors the Cubs and Cardinals, only the opposite, where the Cardinals have been this great, the best fans in baseball, just ask them. And the Cubs, for the longest time were the laughing stock of the league, so, definitely the Chicago-St. Louis rivalry there. But with this thing, I look for Patrick Kane to be at his best. He's the first American ever to lead the league in scoring when the Yacht Ross always elevates his game in the playoffs. Jonathan Taves, Seabrook, Crawford, all those guys have been there before. And I expect a big series on the St. Louis side from Kevin Shattenkirk. I think he'll be great. I think, you get from David Backes in what could be his last run as a St. Louis Blue. So that he's going to leave it all out there. And again, this is just going to be a really intense physical series. But there will be some moments of just raw, just where the skill takes over, where it's kind of like, just through this chaos, beautiful goals and plays are created, whether it's Patrick Kane or, going a step further on the other side, Vladimir Tarasenko. There's going to be just some beauty in this all-out, war, if you will. So that's going to be great. And again, this and the Pittsburgh Rangers series are the two best. I said that going in. I like, the way both series match up with each other, division rivalries. They've played each other in the past couple of years in the playoffs. So, again, my thing with St. Louis is that they're falling into that San Jose, Ottawa, very, very good in the regular season, but can't break through in the playoffs, mold. So this could be the year for them. If not, Ken Hitchcock will be gone. David Backes will likely move on as a free agent, and they'll make some other moves to get over the top. But, as much as I like St. Louis, I'm not picking against the Hawks. I get the Chicago Blackhawks win this series in 7 games. And that's all I got. This episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.